Hi, my name's Tim Massengale, and this is your Church Growth Minute. And this month I want to talk about a particular outreach program that has seen fairly good results within many of our churches, especially those churches that like to focus upon what is commonly called servant evangelism. In other words, encouraging your people to get out and minister and serve to various communities and neighborhoods, and use that as a springboard to reaching for evangelism. Now, it's normally called Our Daily Bread is kind of the title that's been given to it. It's been utilized here in Indianapolis, Indiana at Indiana Bible College for quite some time with good success. And the whole idea of the program is fairly simple. It simply requires you checking with your area supermarkets and asking them if they would be willing to donate their expired bread, meaning all bread has a sell-by date, and bread and baked goods that go past that date are then discarded and or turned back in. And but many supermarkets would be willing to donate it if they know it's going to a worthy cause, and to utilize for helping people that have needs, especially financially. And so if they agree, have one of your members pick up those expired bread and give them the receipt for their tax-deductible donation. And then back at the church, the volunteers load up their cars with the goods, and they drive their bread routes. Now, a bread route is usually a route that includes low-income housing and senior citizen apartment complexes and so on. And of course, the way they get homes to deliver to is they'll go to these routes in the poor residential neighborhoods. They'll knock on doors, and they'll explain that they're giving away bread that is perfectly good, that's come from grocery stores. It's just gone a day past the sell-by date, and many people are extremely thankful for the donation of that bread. And so soon they get to know the people on their route, and so they go by once a week, twice a week, however often the grocery stores wants to donate it, and they provide bread and baked goods to those homes. And after they get to know them, they can also begin to ask for prayer requests and special needs that they can pray for. Of course, we're very upfront that this is a ministry of the church, and we're doing this as a ministry to help people. And so by praying with them and praying for them, you begin to talk to them about spiritual needs. And so churches can often see the ministry grow into hundreds of homes very quickly as they pass out this day-old bread and begin to minister within the homes of those individuals. Now, no one should be making these deliveries by themselves. Once they park, the volunteers will load the baked goods into a large cardboard box, and a light folding type luggage cart often makes carrying the bread down the block or throughout the area easy. And so once an area has been set up, and the route list often states their preference, sometimes they want only bread, sometimes they prefer pastries, and so on, or both, you simply knock on the door and hand the bread out with a smile and a kind greeting. Many of these, of course, are elderly and unemployed, but all will be grateful for the kindness of this ministry as we minister to them by simply handing out bread. After chatting briefly, you should ask, is there anything you would like us to pray about? And so oftentimes they will share needs, health needs, financial needs, need for employment, relationships, and so on. And of course, you should listen attentively and offer words of encouragement. And when they're through, simply say, well, let's pray. And so take their hand and lead them through a simple prayer. And so you should also give them a flyer of upcoming services, encourage them to come to church. You might also share a tract on the power of God's divine healing or some other topic that might indicate their particular need. And so you should also knock on extra doors each week you go out and tell them about the bread ministry and offer to bring bread and pastries at no cost. And so they, of course, should stress that church is simply desiring to help and to be a blessing. It's important to consistently get new addresses because there is rather a transient nature in these neighborhoods, and so you'll want to constantly be replenishing and helping the route grow. Now, churches that report utilizing this ministry have had good success with people attending church and responding to altar calls and baptisms and home Bible studies. So again, it's an outreach. It reaches out into the neighborhood. It's servant evangelism. It's a way to be a blessing to people that are in need. And that's what church is all about. And really, that's what evangelism is all about. We have to reach out to them at their area of need if we're going to lead them to the gospel. And so, of course, Jesus amplified this by passing out the loaves and the fishes. They came out to hear him preach and teach, and he was ministering to their physical needs as well. So employ your people, get your people involved in servant evangelism, and I think you'll see some positive results. That's this week's Church Growth Minute. God bless you. Hope to see you again next week.